Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the ThoseMovieDudes podcast. I'm your awesome and fun and incredibly handsome host, John. So glad to be back talking about movies here in summer movie season. Goddamn, has it kicked off in such an incredible way, and it's not over yet. We have some awesome movies to talk about. We got Nate's Choice, we got some movie news, and we got two other awesome dudes on the show with me that I cannot wait to introduce. We have Lil Debbie with 4 ducks in hand.
Whoa.
And Lil Ducky. God, talk about confusion.
That's a lot of ducks. Would you?
And they're all very sparkly.
This is on a claw machine.
Can you bedazzle those?
No, there's a bunch in the claw machine with different colored hats, and I want one of each.
Why is this the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou right now? With the red hat. You know the red hats? They all have the red hat in the movie.
I've thought about getting that costume for Halloween, but
it's an easy costume, no? Like,
I mean, it's $80 on Amazon, or you could go to Goodwill and probably save some money. Yeah.
What is it beyond the hat? I forget.
Blue.
It's just like a blue shorts and it's like a blue like sweater or something.
Okay, and like you could make like a cardboard submarine, and like you just wear it around your body, and then we all just like vibe.
Just stand in the center of the room, like center of the door frame. Just everything
has to be centered. Yeah, of course. Like you can't be at an angle at any point in that night. Like, yeah, that could be fun
around you.
Yeah, and like it's a yellow submarine, and like you're playing Beatles music. I don't know. It could be a whole thing. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah.
Most of June has come and gone, but
yeah. Hey, Jude. Wait. No,
that doesn't apply. So this episode we'll be talking about a handful of movies that was released in the month of June. But if you're listening to this currently, it's the Criterion sale at your local Barnes and Noble from June 27th until July 27th. You can go and pick up a Criterion for half off. It's the only time in the year. Well, actually, they do another one in November, but pretty much twice a year. Only time you can go and buy these movies because they're so ridiculously overpriced. But Nate, I think you have already been, right?
Yeah, I went this morning.
Oh shit!
That's not a short drive either for you. That's like
I was already down that way.
Commitment.
I was in Boston and Portland and stuff, so I stopped at it on the way through.
Gosh,
did you also go to the Portland location?
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, just in Augusta, just because it was on the way.
And John, I'm sure you won't go whatsoever, but
no.
At least you'll think about it.
Man. I have one so close to my office that it's going to be hard for me to not at least take a gander. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say take a peek.
He'll probably just look at the building as he drives by it. Just
no, there it is,
and just wave and be like, maybe 2019 John would have cared.
You don't want to add to your challenge already, so I mean, you could always
tell me we're not talking about that today.
I mean, you can pick up a movie that you have already seen before, so it doesn't count to your challenge.
That's true,
but
$20 seems a lot more reasonable for a film that it once did. So, if it's a movie that I care to watch, which I think over the years there's been more Criterions that I'm like, yeah, like I want that on my shelf.
Mm-hmm. You did get a Nora on Criterion.
I did
4K.
That's
so
4K, and I have not watched it yet. It's actually still in the plastic, I think.
Yeah, that's
but I mean,
right.
much like many of my films. But I am glad to have it on the shelf. So that was a must. That was a must.
Thought that matters. And I went yesterday. But Nate, what did you pick up during the Criterion sale? Can you inspire our listeners to go out and pick out some movies for themselves?
This may be my biggest haul yet.
Oh shit!
Just saying. So, first one I went with was a Charlie Chaplin directed film that I had never seen before, but it's called A Woman of Paris, 1923. That's all right. The next one is a very bizarre movie from a very bizarre director. I've not seen any of his films, but I'm kind of excited to see what this is. It's called The Workmeister Harmonies.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
Yeah.
No chance.
Supposed to be
Is that
really
like a
odd.
chameleon? What the fuck is that?
It's the movie is made up of, I think it's 39 hypnotic long takes.
That sounds right up your alley. So
Yeah.
good job.
Was that like the Geico Gecko like live action? What the fuck was on that poster? What is that?
It's a whale,
Oh,
like the eye.
Oh,
I still don't see a whale. Is it meant to be like a photorealistic whale or like a very weird?
Seeing its eye, John.
To me, it looks like some sort of gecko, but that's just me.
Well, it's not. Okay, so the third one is actually, I think, the most recent Criterion release, or one of them. It's Sidney Lumet's The Wiz.
Oh yeah, I love The Wiz.
1978
yeah,
version
of course
of
you
Wizard
do.
of Oz.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of that one at least.
I've heard of
that
it,
one.
and I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna get this, but it was there, and I was like, you know what?
Nice.
I'm just going for it today. So, and I've heard it's great. I've heard some mixed things, but I'm excited to watch it. I love Wizard of Oz. The next one is a movie called Secret Sunshine by Lee Chang-dong.
Oh yeah.
Supposed to be really tense, really dramatic and suspenseful.
I've never heard of it. Yeah.
No,
Wait, Lee Chang-dong? Yeah. Oh yeah. I love her.
Then
is that a man or it could be a man? It might not be a man. It's possible. I don't want to make assumptions. It's a woman, probably.
Thank you. Then the next one I got was another silent film that you guys have probably not heard of. It's called Pandora's Box.
Oh,
I'm really
I feel like we have opened that tonight.
Pandora's Box.
Spencer's muted.
Just you wait. Then I picked up a Japanese film called Demon Pond.
I held that one in my hands yesterday when I was at the sale, but I did not know it. Single thing.
It only had one copy in Blu-ray. I don't know what it is about Barnes & Noble and just only putting out 4Ks. But there was one copy of this, so I was like, okay, I'm snagging it. Well, that's 6.
Damn, dude. Good job.
The last one, Spencer said not to one-up him, so I had to.
You fucking did. You went and got
I had to.
So
asshole. I also got a Nora.
Yes.
Oh, you left that out of your photo. Okay.
Wow.
It was. I tucked it underneath one of them because I wanted you to be like, "Oh, there's." Wait.
Guess who's going back to the sale in like 2 weeks?
That's what I figured.
Save up a little bit. Because I also got 6.
You sons of bitches.
I'll go fast on this because a lot of these movies I think people have heard of at the very least. I have seen 2 of them. The rest I have not seen. So a lot of blind buys here, but I'm excited to check them out. So real quickly, I did get Parasite, the Criterion edition of Parasite.
Oh,
had to pick the one up. The original Godzilla on 4K. I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to see it. I figured why not just get the 4K, get like the best edition of it. Can't wait to check that one out. One of my new favorite movies, I would say. Discovered it with Nate during first time watching. Go and listen to that podcast. Some Like It Hot on 4K as well. I laughed so hard during this movie. It is just a riot. It's so much fun. It's a blast. Definitely watch this movie if you haven't seen it. I do already own it on Blu-ray because I bought it to watch it for first time watching, but I love it so much. Had to get it on 4K Criterion. So, yes, go and watch that one. This one was just a kind of a shot in the dark, but I had to just give it a try. A Room with a View
That's the most surprising thing I saw. I was
if you have heard of this movie or if you've seen this movie, let me know how it is in the comments, either on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're listening to this movie. I only picked this movie up because I am going to Italy in like 2 months, and this movie was all shot in Italy. It's like Italy's a character in the film, I've heard. So I was like, all right, I want to get like a little bit immersed before I go. And yeah, so Daniel Day-Lewis, Helena Bonham Carter. So I like those two actors. So yeah, why not?
Does anybody like Helena Bonham Carter?
This was like when she was like 20.
Oh, this is like pre-Hunger Games,
Tim Burton days,
very weird. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and then had to pick this one up because this one was like the most sought after Criterion that wasn't in the collection until it finally was. Paper Moon on 4K. So I've heard it's one of the best movies like ever. So I gotta finally check it out. And then finally, the last 4K, Michael Mann's Thief.
Oh,
James Caan action. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to check it out. I've heard it's actually fantastic. A lot of directors have taken some inspiration from this movie and have made their own. So yeah, I'm very excited to check out 4 of those movies that I've not seen. And then yeah, you fucking asshole with the 7 Criterions.
You shouldn't have said if you tried to one up me, because I was in Barnes and Noble and I went, I just need to grab one.
Hey, you have it on DVD.
On DVD, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Come on, it's the same thing, right?
4K Criterion, a little bit of a difference there.
God, how the tables
that's awesome. All right, well, John, you can maybe join us on our first time watching of this episode.
Oh, no way.
At some point in the future.
I feel like I have to watch Will my 4K Blu-ray player even play this?
I'm sure it will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see the
Unless
quality.
The DVD's like completely scratched, which is possible.
My building manager gave this to me because he loves Michael Mann. It's actually in great condition.
I've heard it's great, so I definitely want to check it out. But no, Nate, I hope you don't one up me, because I wanted you to one up me. I wanted you to fucking do it. So
I was in there.
I was prying.
And they moved the Criterions from the big table that they used to be on to a smaller side table. And so there wasn't nearly as many options, but thankfully there was just a bunch there that I was like, ooh, I would watch that. Ooh, I'm interested in that. And then my mom came in and goes, you almost done? And I was like, wait, I still have like 2 more I have to grab.
Little does she know.
I think it was Anora.
We'll never know.
And The Wiz. And I almost grabbed Uncut Gems, but I didn't. That would have been number 8. But 7 decent hauls, but we still got the rest of the month to go. So
that's the scary part. Yeah, we do have a lot of time left with the sale and some more movies coming out in the collection throughout the next couple of weeks. Although I don't know if there's anything like that worth it, but I haven't really taken a look. All right. Well, John, love your participation with your DVD copy of Thief during that segment. So thank you.
I'm glad I could be a part of this. It's covered in dust. I was gonna actually throw it in the garbage.
Oh.
But now I won't. It has a whole thing that comes with it. It has the cast, and this is probably basically what you get. What if it's actually? You should open it up and see if it's like the same thing. That'd be funny.
It's not.
This was probably released in like 2007 or something like that.
It's an MGM DVD release.
1981, but when was it released as a DVD is the question.
2004, probably.
All right. Well, let's move on here. Ray Romano, tomato. Let's get into some movie news here. Here we go.
Black or white? One or oh.
This is movie
news.
Okay.
Thanks, Peter. Here live every week.
Pete, and you're gone. There we go.
Miss him.
Yeah.
Out of the camera, Pete.
Let's do some movie news here. If you're watching this, the visual, yes, this is a screen grab from Children of Men. Great.
Didn't we have this last time?
Yeah, there's just the very first page for my movie news slides because I don't want you to see any topics. So this is what you get to look at. It's a screen grab from Children of Men.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
First couple we can just kind of breeze past. I just was like, oh wow, that's news. Vin Diesel says that Brian will return in the final Fast and Furious movie. Brian, played by Paul Walker. Paul Walker's dead in real life. So what? Why?
Well, that's why he
What?
said
He have a brother?
Brian. That's why he said Brian. Not Paul
Yeah,
Walker
so
will return.
his brother is gonna be a stand-in, and they're gonna shoot like just from over the shoulder, or like have some AI enhancements to make it look like it's Paul Walker's face on his brother's face.
Listen,
Think
man,
so.
I say about a lot of franchises to just let it die.
Yeah.
I think they should take that into consideration literally this time. You don't need to do that. You did the send-off in Fast 7, like the perfect send-off. Like it was beautiful. Wiz Khalifa had a, Billboard top 5 song on that year from that moment. Like you don't need to CGI Paul Walker's face onto his brother again. Just let it die. Please.
Yeah.
Begging
And
you.
Nate, you're a famous Fast and Furious
Obviously.
supporter and fan. What do you think of this?
Family.
I am. I've never seen any of them.
No, I know exactly.
I'm just. I agree 100% with John. Like, why? I know of the famous scene and the song and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just wrap it up. You don't need it. If you want to end the Fast series, great, but don't have to tie things back from the past just to remind people, like, oh, hey, don't forget about him. We're not going to forget about him.
We fucking know he was in the movies. Like we
know he was great. He will always be missed. You don't have to keep bringing him up. I get it.
Let's
He
also
wouldn't want you to.
Let's also mention that this is for the final film, which is in fact Fast 10 Part 2. There's 11. There's 11 fucking movies of Fast and the Furious. I think I've seen like 8 of them. There's a couple I still haven't seen, but yeah, it's just
actually there's more. There is 11 current because of Hobbs and Shaw, right?
oh, and
Current,
yeah,
so
I
this
guess
is technically 12.
So 12, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I definitely watched up to 7, and 7 was a great movie. I thought, I mean, at the time it was good, but yeah, just and the fact that I didn't include this in the movie news topic, but Vin Diesel was doing some sort of interview when he mentioned this, and he also mentioned the fact that the final movie is going to bring back the LA street car racing element that the first movie had. So,
so an homage to the first one, a send off. Like
yeah.
I guess I get it. Again, not necessary.
Yeah,
okay.
and I guess The Rock is going to come back. I guess they squashed their beef, so that's
cool.
Ew, that sounds like it hurt.
Another news: Matt Reeves has finished the script for the Batman 2. It's going to be called.
Is that Matt Murdock in the background?
Part 2.
Like
this is the writing team. This is Matt Reeves and his co-writer Mattson Tomlin. I mean, I guess a script has been in the works since like the end of the first movie, and they were hoping that probably part 2 is going to be out by now. But Matt Reeves apparently, as James Gunn says, is slow, takes his time with his scripts, and he asked for extensions, and I guess maybe there was even some personal things that happened in his life that caused him to have a little bit of a delay. Who knows what that is, but it's finally here. The script is done. There's people even speculating that part 2 is not even going to happen, that it was canceled. It's been so long. Like Robert Pattinson's going to be like 45 when they even make it. So they were like, okay, yeah, it was great. We're glad we got a Batman with like Robert Pattinson, but that's probably all it's going to be. And plus, like, we got James Gunn doing the new Supermans, and that looks like a very different tone than what Matt Reeves did. But nope, it's official. Part 2 is happening. So you guys excited about that, or do you think that this should have just been one and done?
No, definitely not one and done, because the Batman was fantastic. It had its own touch. You felt like you were in a different Gotham, a more gritty, just darker place. And the way Robert Pattinson was just able to be this really creepy and brooding version of Batman, while also being kind of an unsure millionaire playboy, which they kind of toned down compared to the Christian Bale one, where he's more extravagant. He's out there like flashing his money, where in this one he's more grounded and like more focused on the people of the city.
And Paul Dano.
I'll take this. I'll take the second one any day of the week.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm all game for this. I want to see more of this universe. What Matt Reeves did with the first one is just unlike anything I could have expected after, Nolan's trilogy. To see Batman done in a different way and done so incredibly well. It's so dark, it's so gritty, it's so much better than what they did in like Batman v Superman. Like, it's just, I don't want that. I want this, because like what I remember, like my biggest takeaway from the Batman was, this is a detective movie that just happens to have Batman in it. And like, I want more of that. I want to see, I'm so glad he took his time. I hope that he stays true to the same kind of tonality of the first one. And, I think they hinted at the Joker. So I'm assuming the Joker is probably a part of it.
The Barry Keoghan Joker.
Yeah, they already got
him. Is it Barry Keoghan? Or no?
Keegan.
Not. Is he the one from
Saltburn?
Oh, it is that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Sabrina Carpenter's boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend.
You knew that way too fast.
Well, she came out with Man-Child. Who do you think that's about? Come on. Wow.
Never heard it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a lot like all of her other songs. They all sound the same, like taste and nonsense, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm super pumped. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, he took his time. I mean, I guess that means it's going to be a very dialed-in script. Who knows? If it's anything like the first movie, got full trust and faith in Matt Reeves to do whatever the hell he wants to do with Batman. I'm glad that he gets to make more, and I just really hope they don't try to connect it and like shoehorn it in. Like I'll be really upset if like in the third act all of a sudden like Peacemaker just shows up and I'm like in his tidy whities. I'm like, oh, fuck off. Like, please no. Like, don't do that.
Do you think we'll see Catwoman?
Yeah, she'll be back. I'm sure Paul Dano will be back as the Riddler. I'm sure we'll see more of Barry Keoghan as the Joker, and I'm sure we'll see some new villains. There's been rumors that like you might see a Mr. Freeze, maybe maybe another Bane or a Two-Face. Who knows? But Poison Ivy, get Sydney Sweeney. What? So yeah, who knows what's gonna happen here with the Batman Part 2?
Don't put Sydney Sweeney in this movie, and that's coming from me. Don't put Sydney Sweeney in this movie.
I would be happy, but
no, get like
like a Maya Hawke.
Adria Arjona, get her. She's blowing up.
Who would play a good Poison Ivy if it's not
Melanie Laurent?
I'm sticking with my answer.
Sadie Sink.
No.
Sadie
Sink is going to be in the new Spider-Man with Tom Holland
as MJ, or not MJ?
No, I think she's going to be Tobey Maguire's daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you sure she's not like an alternate universe MJ?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's my speculation. Anyways, yeah, Batman Part 2, it's coming. I think in 2027 or 8. So we still got a couple more years, but
10 years.
It is coming. Exactly. It takes like
it will be made, maybe.
That's
Pattinson's just in a fucking walker at that point. Oh man, it's great.
Robert Pattinson's not that old.
Robert Pattinson, he's gonna shoot Dune Messiah and then go right into filming the Batman Part 2. Like he's gonna be having some fun the next couple of years.
That's pretty cool, man. None of those will be Oscar movies.
And speaking of Denis Villeneuve, he's gonna do Dune Messiah, and he also just got the job to do the James Bond reboot. We're gonna have James Bond directed by Denis Villeneuve. He signed on to direct one James Bond film. Obviously, it could change if it is successful. It is through Amazon, and I think Sony is producing it, like distributing it. Amy Pascal and all those people. He also will not have final cut of the film.
Oh, he's not going to be in the editing room to decide?
Well, no, I mean, he will, but the studio essentially gets final cut here. So...
Ugh.
It's not like, yeah, usually with you have directors like Nolan, like he would refuse this. Like there was no way in hell that Nolan would allow a studio to have final cut. He gets final cut, and like Tarantino, other directors, Paul Thomas Anderson, I'm sure, like all these other directors, they get final cut. Usually he does too. I'm sure he did with the Dune movies. Or maybe he didn't. Or maybe he's just that fucking good and he has that big of a fucking dick that he can just deliver a movie so good that everyone's happy and that it is his cut and it's the studio's cut. That very well could be the case given his track record. But I think he's the perfect guy for the job. Now, obviously, we all know what the right thing to do here is to get Aaron Pierre as James Bond, and it's a perfect pairing. It's a perfect match made in heaven. We got a phenomenal Bond and a phenomenal Bond director. It's going to be great, guys.
I saw something about Tom Holland as being.
It's not going to fucking happen. Tom Holland can eat.
I have seen actual news stories of Tom
shave his head
Holland
and go to sleep.
and
What
going
about
for Andrew Holland.
what's the guy from with the Sydney Sweeney movie?
No,
Glenn Powell. Yeah,
Glenn Powell. Yeah. What about Glenn
great.
Powell?
Oh, wonderful. No,
He's
get out
perfect.
of Hollywood.
John, I know you want Aaron Taylor Johnson, and that's not going to happen.
I don't want Aaron Taylor Johnson. I
People
think that's
are
the easy choice.
convinced that he is already cast. I'm like,
I feel
it's
like he'd
not.
be a better villain, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got the face for it. He looks like he could be a fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough to choose the next Bond. Like
It's not tough.
that's a hell of a choice. No, it's not tough for you. I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if.
No, he is.
Just do Daniel Craig again and just age him down. Like, honestly, that's
do
fine.
Daniel Craig again. Get
Just
Pierce
do him,
Brosnan.
make him 20, start over. Like they did it with Brad Pitt in F1. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Denis Villeneuve, James Bond. It is official. It's happening. Final bit of news that has just kind of been making its rounds on social media. People have been freaking out. Over the last couple of weeks, the New York Times has been collecting top 10 lists from 500 of the world's most influential directors, actors, and critics of what are the best movies from the start of the 2000s and to current day. And they finally compiled that list, and it's out. We're just going to talk about maybe the top 20. But
Okay. All right.
I have, out of the top 30, which I have screenshotted, I have seen every movie. So
Wow.
I was like, when that came out, I'm like, oh shit! Like whatever I haven't seen, like I will watch that weekend. And like
before you show it, can we try to guess like the top 5? Is that
sure?
crazy?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, okay. If it's in the top 30, you guys, I'll give you guys the point. So go ahead.
I don't know why the first movie that comes to mind is like a dark horse is The Untouchables.
The Untouchables. No, it is not on the list.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So you have one guess gone. All right, Nate.
Wait, how many guesses do I get? 30?
You get 5 guesses.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Return of the King.
Return of the King. Return of the King. No, not on here.
The Dark Knight.
Then this is another ballad list.
Dark Knight is on there.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So if Nate can get one here, then we're even at least. He's got to get one.
Oh, I'm not competing here. I'm just.
Any
I
movie
feel like
from
it is a
2000 and on.
Let's go with Avatar.
Yeah,
Avatar. Ooh, baby. Oh shit.
Maybe not.
No, it is not on here.
Give me, give me, The Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker.
I thought about that one actually. It crossed my mind.
The Hurt Locker is not on the top 30.
Wow, that's the same year as Avatar. It it beat Avatar for Best Picture, didn't it?
It did.
Or Best Director. Best Director beat.
One Best Picture too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go No Country for Old Men.
2008.
Yes,
Gotta
that
be
is
on there.
number 6. That's the highest one so far. Yes. John, you guessed Dark Knight. That is number 28.
Wow. Okay. Give me.
You're missing an obvious one. That's like so obvious. Like
I've got it.
I've already talked about it. Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay. I'm gonna go Birdman.
Birdman. That's a choice. No. It's
No?
not on there. It's not
Wow.
on there. Nope.
Jeez.
Not in
okay.
the top 30 at least. Okay. Nate.
Inception.
I fucking wish.
No.
No, it's not.
God.
What is up with this list then? Like,
This is based on 500 of the most influential directors, critics, and actors. Whoever that might be.
says who?
All right, one guess each. Left.
Uh,
Sorry, I had a mac and cheese.
mac and cheese. God, Interstellar. Come on, please.
Interstellar. No.
You fucking son of a bitch. No way.
All right, Nate, what's your last guess?
That's insane.
I'm gonna go with La La Land.
No.
No.
Why are
La La
you-
Land is not on the list. I just
Am I done?
think
I
this
already
list
guessed.
is
You're
valid.
done.
Oh, here it is.
Parasite being number one.
Tom.
I was like waiting for that. Okay, so yeah, number 1 through 20.
Moonlight.
Parasite,
Come
Mulholland
on,
Drive,
bro.
There Will Be Blood, In the Mood for Love, Moonlight, No Country for Old Men, Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind, Get Out, Spirited Away, The Social Network, Mad Max Fury Road, The Zone of Interest, Children of Men, Glorious Bastards, City of
Zone
God,
of Interest.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Brokeback Mountain, Ichimama Timbian, Zodiac, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Out of the top 30,
Yes.
I've only not seen 2.
Which ones have you not seen? Zone
I
of
have not-
Interest.
No, I've seen Zone of Interest.
Okay.
I have not seen Brokeback Mountain or Anatomy
Okay.
of a Fall.
You haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall?
Mm-mm. But how? Like, why is adaptation in there? Like that?
I know. I've seen 21 of these movies. 21. I'm pretty proud of that.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden. See, I would say this list.
Inception
seems more
is
like the most
55. Hurt Locker is
influential.
68. So there are the movies you named are further down on the list. So they are there.
But like,
yeah. Fellowship of
I
the
don't know
Ring.
why Moonlight would be on there.
People love that movie.
I agree with most of them. Like, City of God's phenomenal. I don't get why Phantom Thread's there.
Yeah, I don't think that half of these movies should be on this list. I almost said Her. I almost did, but I was like, nah, I don't think that'll make
Her,
it.
yeah.
Why is 2 Spike Jonze movies on here? Like, did he pay people off to be like, please say me?
They're
He was
probably just
probably
trying
one of the
to
Guys,
directors.
please, you
bribe
promise?
him to make another movie.
How is Boyhood?
Her?
Boyhood's on here, but
John, you
not
love
Birdman?
Boyhood. What are you talking
No, I
about?
do, but like, if we're talking about movies that like, changed film and like did crazy things, like Birdman and Boyhood are those 2 movies. You're gonna put fucking Phantom Thread on there? Who gives a shit? Just
that
because
one I
Daniel
don't get
Day-Lewis's
why.
last movie? Who gives a fuck, dude?
No, I mean you guys are having the exact reaction that I thought you would have because the rest of the internet's having the same reaction.
But you said 500 people, so that's
Fuck the New York Times.
that's a
This
massive.
is so in creating their list, the New York Times enlisted the help of 500 of the world's most influential directors, actors, and critics who were each asked to name the 10 best movies released since the start of 2000.
Now they need to do 500 of the most influential movie podcasters named Those Movie Dudes, and we
I think
just
we'd
make a
probably win on
list.
that one.
I have a list of top 100 movies of, I think it's 2010. Wait, of like the last
Yeah, the
decade, but I made
decade,
that in
yeah.
2017. So like I would make that again. Or we
Alright.
could make a joint list. That'd be fun. We could do that. Fuck this list.
Yeah, we'll come back with a true and proper list that I'm sure will include most of these movies with maybe a couple differences.
I'm glad Spirited Away was there. That was in the top 10, right?
Yeah, but I would go My Neighbor Totoro over Spirited Away. But that's
The only reason I think they did Spirited Away is because it won the Oscar. But that was the second year that the Oscars gave out Best Animated Feature, so of course that's gonna go in there. But
anyways.
I would've preferred the
Where's A Bug's Life?
That was the movie news for this week. But real question is, what is Nate's choice going to be?
Black and white, 1 and 2. It's Nate's choice. What you gonna do? Fight or flight, hot or cool. It's Nate's choice. Tell me what you gonna choose.
Look at my bald spot.
Yo, wow.
Oh,
You holy shit. Hey man.
Okay, now I didn't do that to get freaking ridiculed here.
You would never know unless you put your head down like that. And that's okay. We're all gonna have it. We're all gonna have it.
I doubt it. You guys have luscious locks, and I've got fucking stringy blonde hair.
This isn't those Bosley dudes. It's okay.
That's next week's episode.
That's next week's episode where we talk about how to get hair growth.
go to Turkey.
Go to yeah. If you learned anything, in
I don't
Turkey,
want it all over
a lot
my
of people
body. I just
on
want it on my head.
a lot of people on the flight back had just gotten the procedure done. It was pretty insane.
Oh, like the plugs and
plastic surgery.
Weird.
Yeah, a lot of people go there for that. Yeah.
Well,
no, I'm good.
What I do want to know is Nate's choice.
So,
sorry,
I'm putting two of my favorite thrillers up against each other. One of them will not exist after today.
Oh.
And one of them was
Green
on the
Room.
list that we just looked at.
Zodiac.
Mm-hmm. And Prisoners.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Little Denis Villeneuve in there with some David Fincher.
Oh, you sick.
Both very tense. Both have a crime element. Yeah, like I remember watching both of these movies for the first time and having like my heart racing because of scenes that happened, choices that were made, endings to these movies. But one of them after today is not going to exist. Which one is that for you guys?
Zodiac. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
But Jake Gyllenhaal's in both of them.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So
in both. Yeah.
if he doesn't do Zodiac, does that mean he doesn't have the filmography to prove that he can do Prisoners?
No, they don't relate to each other.
I'm just saying that
Yeah,
probably
different
helped him get
characters.
cast in Prisoners, is what he did in Zodiac.
Well,
But that's
Prisoners came
irrelevant.
out. When did Zodiac come out? Oh,
2007.
07. Okay.
Prisoners is 2013 because that was the best year for movies in the last 15 years.
2016 was pretty good.
2016 was good, but it wasn't as good as 2013.
But let me know what do you think? What do you think? What do you like? What do you dislike?
Oh god, I
What's-
love both of these
So,
movies so much.
yeah.
Spencer, why don't you start if you want?
The Zodiac, or just Zodiac, I should say. It's a phenomenal movie, great movie.
Yeah.
It's not David Fincher's best movie though, by any means.
The
It's a
Empty
great
Man.
movie though, but I mean, he's made some other movies that are, I think, a lot better. It's Zodiac. I rewatched it actually a couple years ago. It is a little too long, and it's a little frustrating because one, the mystery itself is like you still don't really know who the real guy is. I mean, there's a lot of theories, there's a lot of evidence that points to one. And that's where I also bring up the fact that there's other content and media done, documentaries, miniseries on the Zodiac that I think are more engaging and more worth your watch than the movie itself. In particular, there's a Netflix series called This Is the Zodiac Speaking. And that, I think, is the only thing I've seen on the Zodiac killer that I actually watched and felt like I had answers, like after all these years.
Like
So-
conclusive answers?
It feels very, very convincing and very much like that's probably what happened. Even though it's like not confirmed, it feels the most like closing. Sorry, it feels the most like of a closing of the book. So it's a 3-part Netflix documentary. Highly recommend watching that one. It's really well done too. So that is where I can get my fix of the Zodiac story. Is that documentary? It's fantastic. Prisoners is one of my favorite movies of the past decade. We've been talking about like the best movies of the 2000s. The Prisoners is on that list for me in the top 20. Like it has to be. I've
in
watched
my
that
top
movie
10.
and it just like, yeah, it changed like the way I watched thrillers. Just like it just blew my mind the way I could just feel so tense during a film and like have all those twists and turns throughout and just be so disturbed but intrigued at the same time. And it put Denis Villeneuve on the map. He had made Enemy, I think, at the time, and like Prisoners
Yeah.
shortly
Yeah.
vice versa. And so like he made these two great movies. Then all of a sudden, it was just like, wow, whoever this director is, like I will see whatever he does next. And then he did like Sicario and Arrival, and it was like, fuck, Blade Runner 2049. Then he did Dune. So it's like he's one of the best directors of all time. David Fincher, yeah, he's great. Made some other great movies that are, I think, better than Zodiac. And this is the Zodiac speaking on Netflix. That is the Zodiac story that you should go and watch, because it'll at least you'll watch it and feel like a conclusive ending to that story.
Spencer, very strong opinion, warranted opinion, informative, educated opinion on this choice here, on Nate's choice here, 2025, June 29th, 6:16 p.m.
Okay.
I tend to agree. I think Prisoners is one of the best movies to come out in the last, actually 12 years now. Jesus. 2013. I love what Denis Villeneuve was able to do here and create such a grimy, just dreadful, uncomfortable thriller. Just the shot of that, camera stuck on the back of that RV. Nothing good is to come of this situation. There's just so much mystery to it, and just seeing that father, Hugh Jackman, in those moments where he just wants a fucking answer, but he can't get it, no matter how hard he tries. And God, it's just the second those kids disappear, it's just a brutal thriller, and I love every fucking minute of it. It's so good. With Zodiac, it's like, the difference with that movie is like, you could go on Wikipedia and search what happens. Yes, you could do that on Prisoners, but this is a movie out of Villeneuve's head. Like, he made this film, I'm sure, based off of some realistic, real life things that happened, just inspiration wise. But this movie is just purely original, and it feels so just good in every way. It's just so fucking good. I love Prisoners, so I can't possibly do away with that movie for the sake of Zodiac. Can't do it. Can't do it. No, thank you. Terrence Howard, redemption for Iron Man 2.
All right, so two votes for Prisoners. Nate, this is Nate's choice. What do you got?
Yeah, it's not about us.
You have the power to save it.
I do. And with great power comes great responsibility. And for that, Zodiac, get out of here. Because Prisoners, not many movies, like Prisoners is what? Like about 2.5 hours, something like that.
A little under, probably 2:15.
If it was 4 hours, I would be just as intrigued. And there's a score in Prisoners that can't be beat, that just encapsulates the dread that this family is feeling. And some of the set pieces, like with the candlelight vigil and Jake Gyllenhaal in the police station, where he's so fed up with what's going on, he smashes his keyboard and does all that stuff. And I just like that he just goes around trying to tie all the loose ends. Like he goes to that pastor, and he has a body in the basement, and that ties in, and you learn more and more a little bit at a time. And the final minute is just something that haunts me. I remember sitting in our apartment, just watching it with my jaw dropped. I watched all the credits just because I was still trying to process what just happened.
It's the best feeling.
It is.
It's when you know you watched like a fucking great movie.
Because you had been telling me to watch it for a long time. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I'm a stickler when it comes to when to watch like a really long movie. but I just popped that one in one night, and I watched it at night. I'm pretty sure it was like a rainy evening, and it just sets the mood, and it all happens around one of the happiest times of the year. Well, I say that, but like Thanksgiving, they're just two families come together, and then this tragedy happens. Where I agree 100% with Spencer as far as Zodiac is great. It's a great movie, but there's other media that you could learn from it, and this is just one portrayal. I think the reason to watch Zodiac is to kind of see the reenactments of some of what they think had happened, like the couple at the lake, and seeing all those little shorts and like what possibly could have happened to these people.
And also what Zodiac and Prisoners does really, really well is it does such a great job of creating that like dreadful atmosphere and like that feeling of just making you feel so tense, very just on the edge of your seat, and kind of like the blueprint of how to shoot a fucking thriller with Zodiac and Prisoners. That's like the blueprint right there. We're just like atmosphere and tension. And just great. They're both been fantastic movies. I just have to give the edge to Prisoners, but yeah,
I do as well.
Phenomenal.
But Zodiac, I will say, even though I'm choosing Prisoners wins today. It does not get thrown off the train.
If this was like Zodiac versus Gulliver's Travels, I think it would be a little bit of a different
had
story.
One of those scenes in a basement where my heart was in my throat.
That was terrifying. Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh shit, Jake Gyllenhaal is screwed. And then go watch the movie if you want to find out what happens. But
it's official. We're throwing Zodiac off the train.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone.
I mean,
it's gone.
Can we get an actual drop?
Oh, we can't get
getting rid of the kid,
do the Meryl Streep,
giving her
like,
kids to the Nazis.
The girl, take the girl.
Her yelling
in
Austrian. Just,
I mean,
no, we're not. It cannot be an appropriate drop.
I'll make it. Don't worry. I'll find it. I'll find it
next week.
This is real. This is a real and raw podcast.
Very
not
nice.
fucking around.
Could we at least put like when Mini-Me flies through the vent? Could we like impose the poster of whatever movie or something loses and just have it?
That's a lot of work, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I just looked up Sophie's Choice. The choice.
The choice.
The choice.
It's
she made a choice.
But yeah, Prisoners wins.
Very
I'd love to go
nice.
back to 2013 and see this in theaters.
They're doing so many re-releases these days. Like, I feel like that is very possible. In 2027, the 20-year anniversary, it's going to be re-released in theaters. So that's coming up, guaranteed.
Oh my gosh, they took the girl. Take my little girl, she says.
Your friend in the clip, yeah, great, nice.
Take my baby.
Yes, we've seen the movie.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show, and that is some new releases.
Nate's choice again.
Oh, there we go. It's in my fucking stomach right now. Let's see. There we go.
Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases.
Thief on DVD. All right, so James Caan's in this movie. Big fan of James Caan, especially in Elf. Isn't he dead?
Yes, R.I.P.
R.I.P. to James Caan.
We had to bring it up.
Yeah, speaking of dead, so Sophie's Choice. No, anyways, this is the segment New Releases where we talk about new releases.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, sorry for spoiling.
A bunch of movies have come out over the last couple of weeks since we've last done an episode. We're now becoming like a monthly podcast at the end of the month. But regardless, we saw a whole bunch of movies. Some saw different movies than others. Some of us saw the same stuff. Why don't we start with a movie that we've all seen, and that is 28 Years Later. Bitch.
This movie fucking exists because of us. I want to say that. If we hadn't talked about this fucking 10 years ago, like it wouldn't be here.
When we
somehow
we talked about this 10 years ago.
I feel like we talked about this in college, and we talked about this on the podcast like 3 years ago, and we were like, God, if you could create a sequel to any movie, we were all like, yeah, 28 years later, 100%.
I feel like it would have been 28 months later though.
No,
that
because
doesn't make sense.
it was never that. It was like that might as well just be 28 weeks later. Like 28 years is like you want to see. He's just trying to create controversy over there. He knows that that's not what we said. No, you want to see what fucking happened. You know, like what became of Rick Grimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what happened in Paris? Like at the end of 28 weeks later, that's kind of retconned.
Yeah, it's like before midnight. It's like what happened with Ethan Hawke.
We don't get that.
Yeah,
John, where did that come from?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. What I haven't seen the Before trilogy. What are we talking about?
You haven't?
No,
He hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Of all things to not see, that's kind of wild for me.
Wow.
No, I've wanted to see this movie for a long time. Like I just rewatched 28 Days, which come to find out that's a tough watch in 2025. That is a very low budget film at the very beginning of digital cameras, and they did not use a good digital camera. But you know, it set the stage for what could be done with this type of franchise, with you know a very somewhat grounded zombie universe where these things are not fucking around. Like this is not your run of the mill Walking Dead where you can just kind of out fast walk a zombie. Like you better have your shit together if you plan to compete with these. So I love this world, and being able to revisit it, you know, 16-ish years later again, and knowing there's more to come is pretty awesome.
And with the same team back at the helm, you have Alex Garland coming back to write this movie, and you have Danny Boyle coming back to direct. That is the team that brought you 28 Days Later in the micro budget way. And then they also stayed true to the roots by filming this entire movie with an iPhone.
Did they really?
They've shot this with an iPhone 15 Pro. Yep, they shot the whole movie with it. I mean, obviously they had like different lens attachments. They shot like with real like cinema lenses, but like this was the camera like body.
That's crazy. I knew that they did some shots, like the shots of the zombies, like close up when you're like attached to the zombie. That's like 25 iPhones. You can
even see it at like in some scenes with like low lighting and stuff. Like it just has that iPhone kind of like flicker at times, where like you can only would achieve that with the iPhone. But and it's pissed off a lot of people because people like their 8K quality. But I mean, I was thrilled to know that Danny Boyle's back in the director's chair. Alex Garland is back as the screenwriter. There's a planned trilogy here where they have already shot the second movie. It's called The Bone Temple. They shot this one back to back with that. And the third one is still waiting to be greenlit. But after the success of 28 Years Later, it's already crossed $100 million. It's going to happen. Just a matter of days before they do finally greenlight it. And then Danny Boyle is going to come back and direct it. So we will get a complete trilogy, I'm sure. But, you know, this... I truly loved how like nothing could have prepared me for like how truly batshit weird and just different this movie really was compared to 99% of like anything else like it's made. And I'm at the point where like I just see so many movies now where they all just kind of blend together and they all just kind of feel very similar just in terms of like the plots and like the setups and the execution and like the shots and everything. They all just very similar feel and vibe. Then this movie comes along and just like takes out its fucking dick and just slams it.
It's like your favorite line.
Literally, because like that's just like what Danny Boyle, like he hasn't like directed a movie since like yesterday. Like fucking A. Like he hasn't done a movie in forever. But he's one of the most fascinating directors to watch. And like he has just been slowly just cooking up just some fucking great stuff here. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And I loved how different it was. And some of the reasons why people didn't like this movie are why I truly loved it. But like I went in and just like, all right, I'm just like I was excited to see it, but I also was just like, I'm willing to just kind of sit back and go along for the ride. So I was fine with whatever ended up happening, and what truly ended up happening was just something I could never have predicted. And especially when you get to the end, it just goes to some crazy directions. But I was like, whoa, like fucking A, like, all right, like sweet. I didn't give a shit. Like, it was fun, but I had a great time with it. But what did you guys think?
Did we hear Nate? I want to know Nate's initial kind of going into the movie thoughts and everything before we really break it down.
So I've just been trying to go in with no trailers. Because I'm one of those people that can get swayed really easily just from word of mouth and any sort of visuals that could lead you to thinking a certain way about a movie. And I love 28 Weeks Later. I like 28 Days Later, but it does kind of have that early 2000s, just kind of gritty filmmaking with not a whole lot of story. It's just we need to get from here to here. And stuff happens in between. Where in 28 Weeks, you have characters that you feel for and you want to see them live and succeed and make it through this whole virus and the infected. So I went into this very excited and I was a little disappointed. I still liked it. I had fun. There were moments where I was like, okay, this is pretty badass. There's being chased in an open field, and they kind of brought back the 28 Weeks Later, the sweeping overhead shot of this infected running through this field. And I like how erratic it made them feel. Like they're not just zombies. For those of you who think, oh, this is a zombie movie, they're going to be slow walking. If you can't run on top speed for hours, you're not going to survive in this world.
In the English countryside, good luck. It's not like you're on a flat surface. Like you're running up hills, baby. Good luck.
Yeah.
If you trip, you're done.
And I think the casting was pretty good. I was iffy with Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. I liked him, but he did some things that I didn't think really made sense story-wise. And the ending that Spencer talked about being like, yes, okay, this is batshit crazy. I went, okay, not a fan. Can the credits roll, please?
It's such a choice.
It's one thing to be a choice, but it's another thing to take like
it's a
serious theme and then go comedy. I'm like, there was no lead up to this. Like, at least spoon feed it, make it kind of darkly comedic. But this was just like you're watching Walking Dead and then you flip to BBC and you've got like Bridgerton or something playing, and you're
you're not wrong, but like
what's going on?
I love it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like or something like what happened, but it does tie in.
It does. It's so weird.
It does. Like once you see it, shows you the visuals and you learn who it is. But my mind was in a different direction. I was thinking Aaron Taylor Johnson was tied to the beginning. I'll just say that. Come to find out he wasn't. But that's my thoughts so far.
There's a lot of hints throughout the movie about that character that is kind of, revealed in a very dramatic and unique way at the end. If you forgot about the beginning of the film. But I think that's just what kind of Alex Garland brought to it with how he wrote this movie. Like he was not looking at any semblance of like a prototypical story here. He's like, you know what? This movie's batshit crazy. The way they're filming it is crazy. The first two movies were insane, and he just kind of went with it and rolled with it, and it was a wild movie with, it was pretty heartfelt at times too. Like I didn't expect the story that we got. Like going into this movie, did not expect like a mother-son baseline story to exist. And that's kind of the majority of what you get. And one of the best parts about this movie is Jodie Comer. I mean, she is incredible in this movie. Like in the kind of character she has to play is not easy, and she executes it so well. It gave me flashbacks of like the movie The Father
Yeah,
with Anthony
no,
Hopkins, like
100%. Yeah.
you know what, like in the editing
Um,
style too was like the editing was amazing in terms of showing what she was going through. It was like there was so much more to this than like the insane designs of these zombies and how they interact and like it goes to such a deep level beyond that with that relationship. Like there's so much here. We haven't even talked about
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes. Like this is, like there's so much here, and that's why 28 years later is so much, like there's so much more because there's so much more you can explore with what has become of humanity.
Spend so much time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I did not expect all of that emotional stuff with Jodie Comer and the son played by Alfie Williams, named Spike in the film. Phenomenal child actor, by the way. This is his first project.
Yeah, he
and the
was
movie
awesome.
really
was really
is
good.
like on his shoulders, and he is fantastic throughout the whole movie. And I can't wait to see what else they do with this character in the next two movies. But the stuff with the mom, because the first half of the movie is just very much like a kind of a coming of age in a very strange world type of film. When like you have Spike and his dad, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, kind of, and I like that setup of like it's kind of like a it's kind of like taking your son hunting. It's like kind of this like coming of age ritual that these like rite of passage that people are doing, like where they take them to the mainland and they do this like big circle around. Like it seems like a very like calculated route that they go. They get a couple of kills, the slow moving zombies, the crawlers, which are really fucking crazy in the movie. And then obviously they encounter an alpha and shit goes wrong. But and in the second half, you have like a mother and daughter story. Or sorry, mother and son story.
Whoa! Spoiler alert.
Hello. You have the mother and son story, which was super grounded and super emotional. And once they encounter Ray Fiennes' character, Dr. Ian Kelson, the movie shifts into something completely different, and just it goes to another direction that I also equally loved. I actually was in tears during one particular moment at nighttime with those characters, by just like the score that was playing, how it was shot and edited. And there's one shot of like Jodie Comer walking like kind of like a bunch of like bone temple structures, and she's like in the center, and it's like at nighttime, it's like blue lighting, and then Ian Kelson's kind of like behind her. It's fucking beautiful. It's like, what the this is just, I did not expect this movie to be so emotional, and like I was like wiping fucking tears, like oh, like Jesus Christ, I did not expect this in a 28 years later movie, but I'm so happy I got that. And also, Dr. Ian Kelson is like I hope he's the lead in the sequel. Like he is so phenomenal when he showed up, looking like a fucking Lorax, so damn orange in the movie. It was I don't know, I really loved the world and the characters that they introduced here. It was just it's cool.
And it felt so grounded too, like to a certain extent, just because like you would expect, any surviving society to be where they were, like to be in that area surviving, and like you get hints at the outside world, but not very many. And I kind of like how it did feel like a slice of life in this very small knit group of people. And like that's why now, after seeing this movie, I'm okay with seeing more 28 years later stories, because this was so close knit and there was so much to this one, and like there's just so much more you can explore here. Don't overdo it, but like I want to be back in this universe as soon as possible.
Well, you don't have to wait that long, because it's going to be in January, 6 months. So because they already shot it, they went back to back.
Yep. It's coming very soon.
Nate's sitting over there with his arms crossed, and he's just shaking his head left and right. So
no,
go ahead.
I'm trying
to
say? I guess it's just one of those. I guess I saw the movie completely differently than you guys did.
They're more on the audience side of things for sure, because if you look at the audience score versus the critic score, very different. You got an 89% Rotten Tomato score, 64 audience. Like, then that's dropping. So like that's gonna be rotten audience score very soon. People, the audience, general audience, are just not vibing with it. It's too weird. It's too out there. Especially that ending, they just did not like. Then they just are some of the style as well, with the iPhone cinematography and like the bullet time with the arrow being like the instant cut that they can do. Like when they shoot an arrow, it's like boom, boom. Like you said, like that was too much like a video game, which I totally get.
They could have. Yeah. I just think it could have looked a little more fluid. No, I was just listening. I was interested in how you guys interpreted it, because there were just things about it that I didn't think worked for me. Like, I believed no % whatsoever that this kid could just take his mom, who's obviously very ill, immaturely go into the wilderness and try to survive. I was like, I don't believe this whatsoever. The kid was out one time and he thinks he can survive, and I was like, that I don't believe it. I thought Ralph Fiennes was just in a different movie. I liked him. I thought it added a different emotional turn to the story that made you care about the characters in this dreadful world. But I could have done more with the alphas. I thought that was kind of a cool way to have them control the populace and send them out. So like that beautiful, so cool. Like almost like a sunset shot of all of them coming over the hill and then running. That's when I was pumping my fists. Like, okay, here we go. It's survival time. But there's like Aaron Taylor Johnson and the party that they throw for him. And I didn't connect with him. Like, I liked the main character. I thought he was very strong, but I just think some of the stuff that he did wasn't believable enough. And I get it. It's a movie. But I guess I was just underwhelmed. When I saw the rig of all the phones, I was like, oh, this is going to be cinematic masterpiece. And when I saw it, I was like, I feel like I've seen this done better earlier. I was underwhelmed, I guess, is the only thing I can really say. Because I wasn't expecting it. And when that end happened, I went, okay, this kind of seals my thoughts a little bit, because it just, you're going in a straight line and then it just pulls a U-turn. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I think these days I tend to gravitate more towards movies that do that, because I'm just so like done with conventional filmmaking in a way.
It bogs you down.
It's just like, it just becomes like, that's become the norm and like everything that we've been seeing these days. So like, I love when movies do this like U-turn, and I know it doesn't work for everybody, but like I do find myself gravitating more towards movies that do that.
I just don't want to see the sequel start out like it's freaking Power Rangers. I'm like, that's not why I'm here.
To see the trailer for this second movie.
I might have to watch the trailer to see if
I'm very curious, because it's directed by Nia DaCosta, so it's a different director. And she went into this whole thing. I mean, Alex Garland still wrote the screenplay. He has this whole trilogy mapped out in a script. But Nia DaCosta came in after her very bad run with the Marvels, because like the studio just like was like, I'm not letting you make your own movie. We're gonna do this studio mandate like movie that connects to the TV shows. And she just had a terrible time, and she didn't even get invited to the premiere. It was all a big thing. She came into this essentially, it was like, I want to make my own movie here. Like, I like what you guys are doing here. I have an idea for this second movie. Let me make my own movie. And they're like, yeah, by all means. So that is interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it's going to follow the Jimmies, which is like, all right, we'll see what happens. But I love this idea of this like weird cult that just completely grew up during the apocalypse. that
28
kind of
years later.
run the show, and they are kind of the ones in charge. Like that is very intriguing to me, and the fact they all like kind of look alike, it's just what like that's. And then Cillian Murphy's gonna be involved somehow, so I'm really curious to know how he's gonna come back. So there's still, like John said, like more to the story and world that they set up that I am very much still there for. But yeah,
I do like seeing the different perspectives, and something I didn't really comprehend last time, which I guess it is kind of mentioned, is that like the last shot of 28 weeks later are these zombies entering Paris. So 2007, not a spoiler, but it seems as though it's been contained elsewhere, if I were to guess. And like the quarantine zone is the United Kingdom, more or less. So
it's just contained there. Yeah,
it
exactly.
seems like that. At least 28 years later, it makes it seem like it's not elsewhere.
You had this character, this military character in this movie, Eric, who comes in and like he's basically like he's lived in like a normal world where like there's like Instagram and internet, and like he's talking to Spike, and Spike's like, what? And then like I love that scene, like yeah, it's my ex-girlfriend, like she had like, the lip fillers. She's like, what's wrong with her face? Like, ew. Like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, there was laughs in my theater.
It was great. Yeah,
in Miami,
that was great.
In Miami, that was very funny because like there were definitely people in my theater that had gotten work done on their fucking lips.
Hilarious.
That was
a great
very
moment.
funny.
So like Eric is kind of like, oh, he's from Sweden, so like he has like a more like, I don't know, evolved take of the world that like than Spike, because Spike has just been living on this island in quarantine for his whole life, so he doesn't know much else. So I like kind of that contrast, and him maybe getting out there into the real world. And then the sequels, who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll find
out. I'd like to see another story.
Oh sure, yeah. There we go.
Like
I would love to.
Like imagine a different country's reaction to this. Like imagine going to another country and then having it start up again.
America, they'll just be like, all right, let's nuke them, forget about it, move on.
Is the idea of that more exciting because they did that with A Quiet Place Day One, and I liked that.
True, that's a
you
good
know what
point.
I mean. Like the idea of it is like in New York City. Damn, that would be like crazy.
All about execution. Yeah.
So and I think that movie's a little underrated personally. I do like that movie.
I liked it too.
But yes, have it in the right hands. Again, give it to Danny Boyle if he wants to do like a. I trust him to tell a good story. But like Nate said, like or put this in America. Like you could put this anywhere and just see what happened. Just don't oversaturate it. Like
I mean watch World War Z. I mean that's fast zombies, similar concept.
True, yeah.
I mean, boom, in America, New York. So it's like they've so many other movies and shows that have done it at this point, and like 28 Days Later was like the first. So like The Walking Dead should be giving royalties to Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle should be getting royalties for like so many zombie movies and shows that have come out since. And the fact that he's back and kind of just trying new things and just doing different shit again, I just am thrilled by that. So 28 years later, I had pretty like strong expectations going into it. Like I wanted it to be good, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a great time with it, and I can't wait to see the sequels. I went pretty big. I went 4.5 out of 5. It's one of my favorites of the year so far. Also, like I said, didn't expect to be wiping tears during this movie, and for it to get as emotional as it did. I just thought it was innovative, very fucking badass, and can't wait to see more. So 4.5 for me. Really enjoyed it.
I'm matching the 4.5. I loved it. This is what I've been waiting for all year. It is unconventional. It's a little bit weird. I had to, watch some, not so much explain videos, but just to kind of wrap my head around the whole story and what they were trying to accomplish. And I really appreciated it more after that. Cause like when you leave this theater, it's kind of like a mind fuck. Cause like you just stepped out of a world that is in chaos. But yeah, I just love that they took a different approach and just the unique style. I wanted them to keep the gritty, chaotic style from 28 Days and 28 Weeks, and that's exactly what they did. It's not for everybody. Obviously, this is definitely not your mainstream zombie film, but that's why it's good. So match 4.5. Loved it.
All right. And just a little too much Zombie Dawn for Nate. So what's your
28 inches later.
Dude, that is a
What's your
fucking
grade?
dong, dude.
Holy fuck.
It was fucking like knocking like fucking potted plants over left and right.
I didn't know Liam Neeson was in this movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Was that Michael
Liam
Fassbender?
Neeson was the dong. Voiced by Liam Neeson. Here I
Holy
come.
fuck. I didn't
People
know I
are
was
like, what do they
watching
know about
Shame.
Michael Fassbender? Well, watch Shame on Blu-ray. Go ahead.
Still haven't seen it. I need to buy it on Blu-ray, so I have to watch it.
Fucking
Oh,
knocking over
God.
like things
But
off his
no,
coffee table.
Even
Oh my
though it sounded,
God.
even though it sounded like I was shitting on the movie, I did have a good time because getting put in like a post-apocalyptic, not post-apocalyptic, because some of the places are still modern and surviving, but just almost like a different utopia type of feel. I loved the causeway. I thought that was a brilliant way to keep them tied to the mainland while also just kind of being their own city, their own, not a commune because they had open fields and all this stuff. They could raise their own herds, but I was just let down. But I did give it a 3.5 out of 5, so it is still fresh for me.
Okay.
It's just I wanted, I think I wanted more Infected. I think it focused too much on these characters and having it be really heartwarming, which I get. You can have those moments, but Jodie Comer was fantastic, and I think it sold it with when they're staying at night and the crawler is coming, and then you kind of piece together what actually happened.
That's cool.
And it was sad with her character and things that happen and what ritual they kind of have to do. But I just think there could have been more, and maybe it'll come in these next 2 sequels. Maybe they'll tie stuff together and I'll go back to this one and go, oh, this was like the perfect first film in a trilogy that leads into things. So I'm open to it. I may have to watch the trailer though, just so I can see what I'm getting myself into. But yeah, the middle of the road, I would say for me. Definitely still positive. But I guess I just didn't see it as you guys did. But I appreciate and respect that you guys liked it as much as you did. Because
More on the audience side. Yeah. Well, 64%.
and I don't like the audience.
Is the
Well,
audience
that's where you lean on this one, Mr. Cram.
I think
All right.
sometimes Mr. Cram needs a few more viewings.
Sometimes I just need to dance in the street. Oh, what?
In one of the worst music videos of all time.
Sometimes you
Have
can't
you
pick
seen
the
it without the
ballrooms, you just
music?
dance.
No, I don't want to. That's like watching iCarly with no laugh track.
Anyways, the other movie that we saw this month, or that Nate and I saw, John just refused to see it despite many
I know, I'm
texts
the
being
worst.
like, hey, you should totally go and see it. It's very good. And there's a lot of great stuff. And then he's like, oh, you saw Alien. So yeah, we
What was with the butt
That
teeth?
is what I sound like in text
it
form.
felt
That is
right.
what I
It felt
come-
right to add. So
Elio was fun.
I'm glad you liked it. You'll
It
talk
was
about it
okay.
in quickies. But yeah, no, we'll make this one quick too. But The Life of Chuck just came out in theaters. I'm sure it's probably out of theaters at this point. But it's written and directed by Mike Flanagan. We're all big Mike Flanagan fans here. He hasn't made a movie since Dr. Sleep in like 2018, mainly just TV shows. Has a really nice big cast. Written by Stephen King, based on a short story that he did. And not the Stephen King that you would think. More like Stand By Me, Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, a more like softer, sweeter side of Stephen King. Because this movie is all just about celebrating life. And it's very sweet, has a great message. And it's done in a very unconventional way, which I really appreciated. Because it's kind of like told in 3 chapters, but it's in reverse order as well. So it's in a very unique and cool way. And I just felt like this movie was a wonderful, warm hug, an R-rated Paddington of a film, if I were to say that. This is what it felt like. I just had a
so
smile on
sweet.
my face throughout. I was wiping tears left and right. Like it was such a joyful experience watching this movie with three homies together at the cinema on a Friday night. Yeah, it was just a beautiful, beautiful film that I loved. Nate, tear it apart. Go ahead.
It was fucking
hated it.
dreadful. That was bloody dreadful.
Yeah.
No, this one was a very pleasant surprise. I was very happy with it. I still have questions about the whole meaning and purpose of the stuff that you see in the first act.
I can tell you right away, but I don't want to spoil it.
You can tell me after.
Yeah.
But this had one of the coolest. Well, I'm not going to say that because that could kind of spoil it.
Here,
But
let me just not be here. It's okay. You guys can talk about the movie freely.
Well, no, because I don't want to spoil it for our two listeners.
Coolest dance sequence.
That's fair.
No, it was the end of Act 3, which is Act 1 in the movie, like style-wise. One of the coolest, most unique, and honestly felt like a more realistic version of how the world could end. And I was shocked watching it. My heart was racing. And the performances all across the board were fantastic.
Yeah.
And you get to see just the different stages of Chuck and just seeing how he became the person that he is. And the whole time I'm just curious, like, man, what is this guy impacted a lot of people. He impacted the world. Like, what's going on? And then it takes this grand character that you kind of learn about, but you don't necessarily know about. He's just there. And then it just shrinks it down to this little slice of life story with amazing characters like Mark Hamill. I forgot that he was in it until I looked at his face and I was like, holy crap. And just some of the stuff that they do is phenomenal. The dance sequence is going to live on forever, I think. Like that, when that just happens,
it's so fucking great.
You can't help but sit there and smile and clap and just kind of dance in your seat as stuff's going on because it's just happy. Even though there's parts of this where you could feel down because of situations, it's overall just a feel good slice of life. Just picture into the life of somebody that affected everybody.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's all it is. It's just
2 out of 5.
Yeah, fuck this movie. My only nitpick with the movie was like slightly predictable writing at times. Like there were moments where like I'm like in my head thinking, guarantee he's gonna say that, and then boom, he says it. I'm like, oh, fucking great. Like there was just like 2 or 3 times where that happened, and that's like my only little nitpick. And otherwise, movie that just like blew my mind. I absolutely loved it, and yeah, like that ending to that act where like they're looking out at like the sky. It was just unreal. Like it was just such a beautiful shot, beautiful scene. Hope. Exactly. And also the score by the Newton brothers. I've been listening to the score since I've seen the movie. Like just left and right. The score is fantastic. It's just very emotional. Very good score. So yeah, just another movie that I just loved. So I went 4.5 out of 5 for this one as well. It's a little, maybe some people would watch it and be like, oh, it's a little hokey, it's a little like cheesy, and yeah, I get that, but it's just it hit the right chords, it hit the right notes for me, and it was different enough in the structure, and it had Mike Flanagan's heart and like soul throughout the movie. I thought so. I always am down to watch that. So I really enjoyed it, really loved it. So can't wait to pick it up on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go as high, but I did give it a very solid 4 out of 5 because I liked how unique it was. The fact that Act 1 was actually Act 3, and you just learning all these different parts and how he would eventually become the person that he is. And it felt relatable. Like, you were a kid, you go to dances, you have friends, you get feelings for somebody, you do spontaneous things, and it's just life. Like, that's all it really is. And just being able to see it through this perspective of this one person, and you don't learn a whole lot about him to start it off, but after that first act, it makes you want to go, I want to know what's so important. Like, why is this guy being shown to everybody? And I just think the realism of a possible world end, I thought it was handled realistically. Just how people's drive just kind of deflates and all hope seems lost. But then it also talks about, if you have nothing left to lose, maybe everything that you lost before or fought about isn't as important as just being with the person that you want to be with. And they kind of talk about that in all three of the acts, but great performances all around. I didn't know that Tom Hiddleston could dance. He can. And I would watch an 1.5-hour movie of just him, like, on a soundstage dancing. Like, I'd be down with that. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. I had a lot of fun. Tugs at the heartstrings, and one of my favorite shots / moments of the year so far.
Agreed. Yep. La 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 lava. And John saw F1 with Brad Pitt. Yeah.
What was your grade?
Vroom vroom.
There we go.
Oh,
F1, the movie.
So, God, I forgot how handsome Brad Pitt is.
I was so thrown off. Sorry, I was
swollen.
so thrown off that it was actually called F1, the movie.
The movie, I know.
I thought people were just like saying that to describe the F1, like the movie that's coming out. Like, oh yeah, it's the movie. But it's literally in the title and poster.
Yeah,
the movie.
They couldn't think of anything
F1,
else.
the movie. That's hilarious to me.
You know what's? It's like movies like this. I think it's like, is this the only way to market it so people really know what it's about? Maybe. So I can look past F1 the movie as a title. It's essentially Top Gun Maverick, but with F1 cars and Brad Pitt. In a certain extent, but I went to this movie. I've become a huge F1 fan. I spent $750 to go see it in Miami in May. And in my head, it was money well spent. I had a fucking great time. It's such a cool, just like full throttle action-packed sport. And this movie is exactly what I wanted Gran Turismo to be. Fuck that movie. This one's way better. It's so cool. F1's an incredible sport. I looked at this and I was like, Brad Pitt, he's fucking 60 years old. F1 is a very young sport. There's 18-year-olds that are driving these cars, getting paid $40 million a year. Brad Pitt should not be in this movie. He was pretty awesome in this movie. I liked him as like the old guy trying to just kind of like, ease into the team, help out the young gun. Like it ended up working. He's very chaotic in this movie. He likes to break all the rules. It is run of the mill in those aspects. The soundtrack, the editing, the racing, the crashes, the story's a little bit generic, but you are getting everything that you want from this movie as an F1 fan. You're even getting like, little throw-ins of the actual drivers and other people that are in F1, like, but it's very much its own thing as well. So I had an incredible time. I loved it. I thought it was really fun. I've been listening to the soundtrack for a month, so I was very much ready to go see this movie. And
a little like Tate McRae,
disappoint.
Like, KSI or something.
Tate McRae did have a song in this. Like SZA has a song. Like it's so fucking mainstream. Like it's like the most mainstream movie you could see all year. I mean, for the love of God, Brad Pitt is the lead in the movie.
His face looks like photoshopped on.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. He's very handsome.
We know, John. You've said that 30 times already.
Right. I wasn't sure if you heard me the first time. I just, even John, if you don't care about F1, do you remember how you liked Gran Turismo, right? With David Harbour? That movie was fucking stupid. Movie. Bad movie.
It was a unique telling. Just because you didn't like it, don't hate on me for liking it.
This movie is way better than Gran Turismo.
Same story.
Not the same.
Does Brad Pitt go
not
into
really.
like a simulator?
Pretty much the same story. Yeah.
It's not the same story. This is like Brad Pitt's the old guy. He was in an accident back in the 80s. He was about to be the next best thing in F1. He gets hurt. He's gone. And then this F1 team is like about to get sold out because they haven't won a race. And he has to come in there and try to help them win a race. And it's not all about him. He's trying to do everything he can to get the young gun to win a race. So he's like causing accidents on purpose. Like he's doing some crazy shit that could not happen in real F1.
Have you guys seen Oppenheimer?
I have.
You guys are fucking dumb,
Fucking
man.
great.
It was fun. Like this movie's gonna make so much money. It doesn't matter what you two think. Like honestly, it's like, come on.
No, I am gonna go see it. I just
You're gonna
didn't
like
have it on the cards this weekend, but I will probably go and see it in the next couple of weeks.
You're a big in the way they shot this, Spencer. You will appreciate. They
100%. Yeah,
like,
no, I will. I'm gonna go. I want to go and see it in IMAX. That's why I didn't get around to it this weekend. It's because I didn't get down to that IMAX. But
Brad Pitt was never driving
will
the car.
Go and see it. No, he did. 100%. He actually did drive the car.
Okay, but like there's scenes in this movie that I remember from actual races that happened last year because they had cameras on the cars.
They created a separate garage section based on like their team, whatever they were called.
Yeah.
They actually had Brad Pitt go out and do a lap and do like some footage on the track.
But there's like actual crashes and moments that I remember from real races last year that got edited into this movie as if he was on the track with them.
Nice.
Like that's cool. What's crazy to me. It's like they quite literally put him in the actual races, but they made it work in the movie. It's like I don't know how they did that editing wise, like CGI, whatever. It's like it's incredible what they were able to do. That's why it's Top Gun Maverick, but F1.
Nice.
So
no, I definitely will and go and check it out in the IMAX in a couple of weeks. So I will check back in on a quickies or so on the next podcast. 4 out of 5, not bad. Yeah. Okay.
4 out of 5.
Nate, do you think you will go and check it out?
I guess it will depend on what comes out in theaters coming up. I'll probably go to the theater sometime later this week.
There's a lot of stuff out right now. So if you're making a decision, it's kind of a tough
I know
decision.
Fantastic Four is coming out, and isn't Superman coming out soon?
Oh yeah, so it's not slowing down either. That's what I was going to get into because July is stacked. So this coming week we have Jurassic World Rebirth, then we have Superman, then we have I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot, along with Eddington, the new Ari Aster film.
Yeah.
And then we got another Pedro Pascal movie a week after with the Fantastic Four, the first steps.
Crazy month.
And no, every single week there's like a pretty big movie coming out, or just something that's like, oh wait, that's like a top of the list to see. So there's a lot of stuff coming out in July. So definitely.
Nobody saw Megan 2.0?
Getting their money's worth. No, it bombed. Nobody saw it.
It's crazy because they spent so much money on advertising. I can tell because every single time I go to AMC, there's a whole featurette where Megan's like, silence your cell phones or I'm going to fucking kill you.
I haven't seen any of them. Thank God.
Yeah. It's horrible. Very cringe.
Yeah, no. And Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix at the end of the month as well. So there you go. So no, there's a lot of movies coming out in theaters. So definitely check back in. I don't know if I will go and see Jurassic World Rebirth, to be honest. We will see.
If it doesn't tie into the previous ones.
No, it does. I think on IMDb it's like set 5 years after Dominion. So
well then
it definitely ties in. It has
it's a new cast. It's Scarlett Johansson. So
yeah.
And she kissed another man on the red carpet for it and not Colin Jost, and that was a big deal.
Was it?
I think they're comfortable in their marriage.
He shouldn't be.
She's a freaking celebrity, and so is he. I think they understand.
But there were a couple of other movies that came out that we saw. Do we want to do a little quickies catch up? This is the shortest quickies that we've had so far. We have How to Train Your Dragon, Elio, and The Amateur. The little Rami Malek movie, The Amateur. Did you see that movie?
No, I didn't see that.
It looked like a Mr. Robot revenge movie. Like something happens to his wife.
Pretty much exactly that. Yeah,
Mr. Robot revenge movie.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Except he's in a suit. He's not in a black hoodie on a laptop.
It's not bad. It's watchable.
Well, I'm sure it is. Rami Malek, he's a fantastic actor. So like,
yeah,
it just looks like a stereotypical hunt down the bad guy thriller action type movie.
That's exactly what it was. So yeah, you do not need to go and see it in theaters. So yeah,
I liked Elio. Elio was fun.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it was kind of cool. Like I think Pixar might be back a little bit because they explored a pretty fun concept in this movie. It's like, what if aliens actually did find Voyager 1 and tried to contact us because they found it? That's a cool concept, you know? And do you guys know what Voyager 1 is?
That's the space satellite, right? That
The
went
probe
way
we
out
sent
past,
out.
went out past Pluto and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
is
it's the satellite that has the record that has all the sounds of Earth and stuff, and it's like basically saying like, if you find this, come find us. Like that's a real thing we did. So it's like, what if they found that? And I thought that was a really cool concept. And like Elio is a little kid. His aunt works for like NASA, and her job is to like track sounds coming in from space. And he's like all he wants is to get abducted by aliens. It's like a very cute little concept. And then the first thing that those aliens hear is him being like, "Come save me," and
what was that? What did they hear?
Come save me. And little Elio, he's kind of annoying at first, but you'll get used to him and you'll like him. And it's a good little. It's basically it's kind of ET. I mean,
hey Dad, look, I'm a bargaining chip.
Kind of. Well, his parents are dead, so not really.
No, the alien.
Oh,
I saw that in the trailer.
Oh yeah. That was
look,
funny.
I'm a
That was
bargaining
funny.
chip.
That alien's basically like the Klingons, but he's like a soft Klingon. I liked it. It was cute. It's a kids movie. I don't know what you want from me. 3.5 out of 5. I like it.
It's my
Shut
little
up. Leave me
girl.
I will probably check it out when it comes to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
How to Train Your Dragon. We all saw it.
Yeah. We didn't talk about it last week.
No, we didn't. We didn't do an episode.
We didn't?
Last week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, yeah. For me, it was exactly the movie I thought it was going to be. I think it's probably one of the best live action adaptations I've seen because it literally is just like scene for scene, like lifted straight from the animated film and shot in live action form. And I thought the kid did a great job. Who played Hiccup. Astrid was a little wooden, and it was really obvious that she had a wig, and that was kind of frustrating. Toothless was flawless, I thought. And yeah, the test drive scene was fantastic. It's worth the price of admission to go and see it. That's the best part of the animated film. And I was like, how are they going to do that in live action? They fucking nailed it. It was great. Yeah, it was. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it, but like I will totally see the second one and the third one if they do it in live action form. Like I'm all for it. And I'm glad they got the director of the animated films to do it in live action. Seeing Gerard Butler like in like the live action form as the character was really cool. It was a little too long for me. Like it could have trimmed it down a little bit, made it a little tighter, and just cast a different person as Astrid. Would have been a better movie. Still
You hated her. Gosh.
I liked her.
She was fine. I just like in the animated film, she has like way more personality and she's like way more expressive and like their chemistry is a little bit stronger. This one, like she was just wooden, I thought. Like she just was just not delivering the performance she could have, I thought.
I think that has to do a lot with animated to live action.
But Hiccup was great. Gerard Butler was great. Other characters were crushing it, I thought. So it was really just her. And like even the friend group I thought was pretty much the same as the live was animated. It was her that was just driving me nuts. But yeah, I give it 3.5. I still really enjoyed it. Great movie.
Heck yeah.
Oh, she was in The Last of Us.
She
was the girl from Suncoast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. She's Tandy Newton's daughter.
Yeah, she's a good actress. I see what you're saying with her. I mean, I don't know what. I think it probably had to do.
She was like an intense fighter, kind of like Astrid was in the animated one, where she's like driven. She wants to be chief.
Yeah, her stunt double was great.
Yeah, I liked How to Train Your Dragon. I think Spencer's he's a big How to Train Your Dragon guy. I mean, I've listened to the soundtrack since 2014 too. Like, it's a very good soundtrack, and they don't stray too far from the animated movie, and I think that's for the best. It's the same director. Like, that's crazy. They bring back some of the same voice actors, which you never see that happen ever. So that's a pretty cool exploration to actually bring to a live action movie. Because most of the time, these live actions movies are fucking terrible. Like, they make decisions that do not work out. This one does. I mean, Toothless looked awesome, and it still kept the same like childish qualities, I guess. I think that they could have gone a little darker and grittier. Like, there was opportunity there to kind of make it more of a movie than a children's film, and it still could have, checked all those boxes. But it was very much a kids movie.
There were some moments though where I feel like some young kids would probably get scared, like with one of the dragons, the fire one, the massive alpha.
Yeah,
like,
that's
some
fair.
kids would see that and be like, "Oh, that's terrifying."
Yeah, those kids are fucking lame, dude. Don't get out of my movie theater, loser.
No, I know 100% Nate, because when I saw this with Brooke, and there was a family and like the couple seats over, and one of the little girls got up and like got into her dad's lap and just like kind of like stayed there. I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And like
babysitter.
But yeah, like she was scared. It was during the last act with the big volcano.
At least you're not bringing those kids to 28 weeks or years later. Cause,
no, they should. But
wow,
yeah.
this How to Train Your Dragon got really bizarre.
Why is there so much prosthetic penis in this movie? I heard there was a kid in this movie. It should be fine.
And a bunch of Teletubbies. So I mean, at least they got that.
That's true. And those kids get fucking eaten alive. God, I wish they showed that.
What do you guys give How to Train Your Dragon?
4 out of 5.
Fucking 1.
Ooh, you really liked it.
I prefer the animated one, but of course, there's some things you can do with the animated ones where you can make as much expression with the music and the colors and the setting and all that stuff. It just fits that world. It can be hard to adapt and make something that looks so great as an animation look good in a real life setting. But I think this was the absolute best that they could have done with the story they had. And I think following basically almost a shot for shot remake is what helped it, because it kept all of the things that worked and didn't try to do something fancy or new because it's live action. They stuck to what worked, and I think it really helped. It was a little long, but I liked the test drive scene, him trying to get Toothless, and a surprising performance from Nick Frost where I was like super pumped that he was in this. But yeah, no, I had a great time.
It works so much better. I compare it to, like, if you talk about shot for shot, The Lion King did that, and it didn't work because there's no humans in it.
No,
and, like, we're so used to the drawings, and like, at least this style of animation back when it came out was more of that like kind of Pixar look, sort of
cartoony DreamWorks style.
Yeah, and like when you can't go from like those hand drawn images to having such photorealism of an actual, like, they didn't do that here. Like, they didn't do a realistic looking dragon like Game of Thrones or something. That wouldn't have made sense with the same.
It was a real version of the animated creature.
Yeah, like they kept it as genuine as they could, and that's why it works.
Kept it as a fantasy. Like, it felt like a fairy tale.
Exactly.
Like, what's going on. But no, I had a blast. I would prefer the animated ones, but if they go along the same line with the sequels and the second one makes me cry, I'll be like, holy crap.
They want to bring Cate Blanchett back to play the mom. So
God, fuck me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was that. Those are movies that we saw as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I also watched Echo Valley with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh yeah, we I think we mentioned that a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, if you want to watch a movie, the first movie ever where she doesn't show her tits, Echo Valley.
Okay, there you go.
How many people just clicked off?
Everybody, hopefully.
Everyone's like, God damn it, I was gonna watch
All
that.
three.
But yeah, I think that's it, right?
So Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. It burns my mouth and all this shit.
Well, that's gonna do it for this
Crash and
week's
burn.
episode.
Exactly. If you made it this far, thank you for making it this far and listening and watching and subscribing. Let us know who your favorite dude is in the comments on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify,
You're trying to
YouTube.
divide
Rank us
us
from
right
1 to
Yeah,
3.
exactly. Yeah, let's start a war between us.
If you vote for me, I will send you this, and you can have it for a day. If
I'll
it doesn't
send you
come back,
$10,000.
I will put you down.
I will
I'll
send you a
$10,000.
whole bunch of ducks that I have. They're all
I'll
up
send you
in
my
there.
Blu-ray
Look at
collection.
Look at that
so I
army.
won't
Look at
have
that
to
army.
complete my challenge.
Hey, yeah, I'm coming for you.
Roadhouse.
Throw it in the oven.
I need to know that I have done one thing.
Ever heard of a lie? Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you pissed blood?
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Shut the fuck up, Don.
Throw it in the oven.